Yo, what is going on, boys? This is your boy Hazy, Hazael.Trades. We're back again with a little recap today of how my trade looked like. I know my chart looks crazy. You don't call me a fucking rookie or noob because you have so many lines, bro. You have all these EMAs. Look, bro, everybody trades how they want to trade. That's how I trade, all right? So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. I'm here to try to give y'all some game, learn from my lessons, learn from my L's, and that's that. Thankfully, today was a good day. We took a little nice W today. Let me get the exact specs out real quick. Give me 1 second. So today we did profit $136.85. It was a nice 24%er. I'll screenshot that and probably put it on the screen and show you guys. That's some real deal. So you're probably asking, how much did you put up to make that money? The exact trade was worth $508 and I sold it for $645. So it took me about $500 to profit $140. Like I said, around 25% gain. Not bad at all. But the thing is, who gives a fuck about how much I won? Let's see how much I was willing to lose. My risk factor, my risk management. Because as far as when it comes to traders, I'm sure everybody trades differently. You can tell a trader is a good trader by the way he risks, by the way he loses. If he's a good loser, he's a good trader. I'll tell you that much. But the thing is, there's been times where I've had like a nice streak and then boom. One loss will wipe away all my gains. And I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times. That is the real deal. That's what happens. That's why I say I don't care how much you win. I like to look at your losses. If your losses are way more small than your profits, oh, buddy, you're going to be, I could tell off the bat you're going to be a successful trader. That's still something that I struggle with sometimes, is discipline and risking my money. But now, every single time I lose a good amount of money, like I said, every time I wipe out my profits or blow an account, whatever, I learn from it. And that's the point of this game, is you live and you learn. In order to succeed and win, you got to lose. You got to be a good loser. All that fucking chit chat. Let's hop on the charts, boys. The left side I have a 5-minute, the right side I have a 2-minute chart. I'm gonna keep it straight up and simple. What I saw today and why I entered the markets. To start off with, I always like to look at a higher time frame. So on the left side, we're looking at a 4-hour. So we're looking at a higher time frame. It's always good to look at a higher time frame before you even go into any trade. Just kind of get an idea. The trend is your friend, or see something's being rejected, or trend lines, or whatever. Look at the higher time frame first, always. I'm looking at the 4-hour, for example, and pretend today didn't happen. I can just tell off that 4-hour red candle that we were bound to at least retest something or come down. You can see right there, that's the 21 EMA I was bouncing off of. So I didn't have a bias entering the market. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go based off of market open and see what happens from there and kind of go to there. Sometimes I like to build a bias when it makes sense, but on a day like today with what's happening with tariffs, Trump could speak out of nowhere and say, yo, what the fuck is going on, boys? And then boom, the market goes crazy. So I've been trading cautiously, so I'm trying not to have a bias. But if we look closer here on the 5-minute time frame, so usually I like to have SPY pulled up and my ES futures pulled up on my different monitor. Futures, it's the same exact chart as how if you put side by side by SPY. I just like futures because I feel like they're more liquid. So I like looking at the time and sells and level 2 and kind of get an idea of buying pressure and selling pressure. But as far as today's trade, we stuck to the 5-minute and the 2-minute. Just looking over the SPY chart. So as I mentioned right here, I noticed we have a really big opening of buyers stepping in heavy. This probably went consecutively on for what, 30 minutes. I try not to trade within the first 15 minutes because I like to kind of have an idea what the market's going to do. At this point on, even after the 15 minutes, I was still like, I don't know if I'm going to enter yet. I'm going to wait. A reason why I really wanted to wait was because of this key level right here. This is resistance. Even if you expand out more, that's a key level right there I was paying attention to. 542.58. Okay, you know what? I noticed these blue candles forming. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait and see what happens around that level. We're either going to, one, break through it and we create a new support and go off of there and go high, or we're going to reject it and come back down. I had a feeling, I would say this, there's too much green. There's too much buying going on. Sellers got to step in, especially in this market with the 90-day pause. Investors are still scared. So I kept that in mind. I'm like, I don't see us going for highs again. Like, that just doesn't happen, but it could have happened, obviously. So if you look here on the 2-minute, we went up all over here and we rejected it. I still didn't want to enter it though because of this EMA on the 2-minute on the right side. You see it rejected that and bounced off of it. On the I try to get my entries based off of a 5-minute. Because with the 2-minute, sometimes it's too much noise. It's easy to get faked out. I like to use it for confirmation. But my main focus is the 5-minute. So as of right here on this 5-minute, like I said, I seen this EMA right here. I believe this is the 9 EMA. It bounced off of it. I was waiting to see if we were going to reject it or break through it, which was a good call because look, if I would have entered puts right here, I would have got fucked. It would have been a wrap. I noticed we were bouncing off of it, and then I noticed we were approaching a new high. This is where I got on my seat. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for short entry. Why? When you test a new high, you're either going to break through or reject that high and come back down. Like I said before, we're in an interesting market. I had a feeling. I mean, The thing is with trading, you can't have a feeling. Yeah, you go with your gut, but trading isn't about luck, it's about skill. Some people may differ and say otherwise. But me personally, the reason why I didn't enter off this first 5 minute red candle is I knew buyers are going to try coming back in. I want to see where the sellers are at. Because so far, all I'm seeing is buying pressure, buying pressure. So we bounced off this EMA that showed me, you know what? Sellers or buyers are strong today. They could even break through this EMA. Let's wait around and check out what happens. So as soon as this 5 minute red candle closed with this doji, I was hesitant on going in. Because on 2 minute here, looks like we're about to test this level, but we come back down. I do the same thing. So I'm looking at 2 minute now. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait for a close underneath the EMA and I'll enter on puts. It didn't happen. Thankfully, I waited for that confirmation. Because look, we didn't close and we came right back up. But as soon as I seen in the 5 minute we're about to test this level, I'm like, okay. Sellers are either going to step in or they're about to back out. It's either or. As soon as I noticed this 5 minute candle came up and we dipped all the way back down on this 2 minute, I waited for any candle close underneath this level to kind of confirm with me, like, hey, like, sellers are in now. Buyers gave up. This is all I had to see. This candle right here showed me buyers gave up. Boom. I entered into my puts. I'm like, you know what? If it doesn't go my way, at least my stop loss is where this wick starts at, where this candle starts at. That's a reasonable level. Because if we go past that, we're gonna go past it even more. So my risk to my risk to reward was a good. This is probably like a what, 1 through 4. I'm not a pit master or anything like that. I do options, but I at least told myself, all right, if we come above this wick, I'm gonna get out. That's a reasonable way to get out. But I have all this room to keep for a profit. If you look at the market open, I'm like, we could even test market open. So I was open to testing these EMAs or testing market before I get out. At this point, I'm in the trade. I enter out the 5 minutes. Look at that wick. Boom. I enter at least down here on the 2 minutes where you can kind of see where this arrow is at. I'm like, okay, we're riding it good. I'm like $70 up instantly because we touched down here. We test the EMA. Boom, we come back up. That's where that wick comes from. But you know what? I don't get faked out because I'm paying attention to the 5 minute. I'm like, okay, that we bounced off of that. Let's wait and see if sellers are going to keep pressuring. And before you know it, I seen this 2 minute come back and reject this level. I'm like, okay, beautiful. That's what I need to see. And then boom, we rip on the 5 and 2 minute. We ripped so fast I wasn't quick enough to take profit right here down here. So buyers came back in and stepped up. I'm like, holy shit, I got ready to go out. At this point, I was like up 200. And then obviously it got wiped off because buyers stepped in quick. That kind of scared me. I'm like, you know what? The fact that the buyers bought that dip in quick shows those buyers as presence. I'm like, you know what? As soon as I see another room for profit, I gotta take it and get out of here. Thankfully, we came back down right here, and I took it for a 140%er. I call it a day. A 24%er, $134 in 2 minutes. Come on, bro. It's actually a 3 minute play if I want to be exact. But the thing is too, if I would have stuck to my original stop loss and stuck to my original target profit, we would have rejected these EMAs and came lower. I think I checked. Instead of a $140 profit, would have been like a $300 or $400 profit if I would have held on this long. Cause look where it dipped. That shit came down. But truth be told, bro, I wanted to take my profit. I like to build it brick by brick, day by day. There's two types of traders. You have traders who are gonna build Rome in like a week, and then you have traders who are gonna build Rome within a year. I like to play it safe. Like I said, I could have held on to that trade, but how much of a dumbass I would have felt if I was up 100 and a couple of change and then came down to negative. I would have been like, so dumb, just take profit. But who knows? If I would have been more ballsy about it, I could have doubled, tripled my profit. That's the beauty of trading. Everybody has their own ways of what they want to do, but that's how I made $134 in about 3 minutes. Honestly, in reality, if it took me 3 minutes in the trade, but if you think about me sitting on my computer, sitting on my setup, I was only at work for 30 minutes. Come on, bro, making $134, and eventually when your account size grows, you obviously risk more money to make more reward. Everybody trades differently. I don't care if you're making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 a rack a day. If you're consistent and if your losses are smaller than your profits, you're doing something right, and keep going. That's all. This is a game where it's you against you, nobody else. Block out everybody else, but it's just you and you, my boy or girl. But it's been your boy Hazy. If you guys made this far to the video, I appreciate you guys so much for sticking around and watching my breakdown / technical analysis. I post a lot of content on my TikTok, Instagram, of course YouTube. So if you guys want to follow more, subscribe and keep up with me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care and be safe.